Hey guys, so we are in part and final, part 8 basically. I hope you guys enjoy the story, and I'll see you guys and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see what we can do from there. The Vol'jians have been living over centuries of peace after the Yuuzhan War, but unfortunately, as we all know, peace never lasts in the galaxy due to many raids, riots, rebellions, Sith, Jedi. All these things about war was inevitable, as Darth Krayt, with his new rebound Sith order, led to galactic conquest, depending on who you ask. Darth Krayt inevitably took over the Imperial military and turned the Imperial military into his own ruthless killing machines. The Imperial military now are subservient to Darth Krayt and his new Sith Empire, even though many Imperials, however, surprisingly did not follow Darth Krayt's new Sith vision, as the Fel Empire in exile resisted Darth Krayt, including those of the Galactic Alliance as well. Only the Vol'jians, who knew that Darth Krayt would come after them next, decided to be more warlike and were prepared for this moment for many years. We all have to remember the Vol'jians were a warrior culture. They were always ready for war this time, unlike the previous wars when they were not so much more prepared. The Vol'jians have every right to fear the Sith coming back to the galaxy and taking over what they pleased. The Vol'jians needed their allies as well if they were going to win this war successfully on their own home turf. They knew that they needed men, and they decided to replenish their military and their fleets to prepare for the worst. So, of course, the Vol'jians rebuilt their military for might alone, and they were still a military dictatorship. And so they have every right for their generals to be prepared for any kind of war that was soon later to come with the Imperials and their Sith overlord, or emperor, as the Vol'jians would call him. The Vol'jians, though, had one of the greatest military minds of their time, and his name was Jai Julan Kaitu Nakin, who was one of the greatest military commanders and one of the greatest who's like a successor to Suladan in many ways. In fact, he's even a better military commander than Suladan. He knew like basically the Imperials were coming for them, so he had them, every single Vol'jian, whoever, prepared to face the Imperials. He knew the Vol'jians cannot defeat the Sith in open battle, so instead he used the dangerous hyperspace lanes and also ambushes and hit-and-run tactics that the Rebel Alliance used against the Empire. And these tactics, however, worked very well, as the Imperials have been running low on resources, manpower, who tried to invade the Vol'jian Empire and their borders, and yet they kept getting defeated in these small skirmishes and ambushes, and also raiding supplies. The Vol'jians also managed to be ready for many fleet battles, also upgrading their ships and being prepared for the next Imperial attacks. Jai Jul also managed to have his own capital ship, and he decided to use these new prototypes in battle, and also giving other generals and other fleets these types of new ships. As they were ready to face the Imperial fleets and militaries in open battlefield, this was devastating to the Imperials, as they never expected the Vol'jians at this time, however, to be ready and more prepared than any other. As Operation Undertake was concerned, the Vol'jians invaded Darth Krayt's Sith Empire from the unknown regions with the help of the Fels and the Galactic Alliance, and also managing to attack basically winning so many victories and battles with Jai Jul or whatever at their head. They managed to attack Imperial bases, scientific places, or super weapons, wherever it was. The Vol'jians had the Imperials outnumbered and outgunned. The Imperials never expected such a heavily well-trained and disciplined force this damaging, that the Imperials lost so many men in numbers that they could not face the Vol'jian war machine. This was basically the reborn Vol'jian Empire, but with a vengeance. And this was the Vol'jians' perfect opportunity to gain their vengeance on the Imperials, who ravaged them many, many years earlier during the Imperial Revenant Wars, when they killed so many Vol'jians and their allies during the course of that war. So this was more of a payback sign. With the death of Krayt at the hands of Cade Skywalker, the Sith, Darth Krayt's empire basically fell apart, as we all know. And also the Fels and the Galactic Alliance transform into basically this peace, the Galactic Alliance triumvirate, I think, which is basically the case. Also, finally, the Fels and the others wanted to give the Vol'jians a seat in the Galactic Federation triumvirate. But of course, the Vol'jians refused to join the new government. Jai-Jul would become a war hero, one of the greatest war heroes during the war, and he was praised as the new, this new supreme overlord, and yet he will have his own video basically. So after this war, the Vol'jians basically were never heard from again, basically still in the unknown regions and biding their own time. So they never got involved in galactic affairs ever since. And finally, this is the end of the part of a story of a warrior culture species that has been suffering for a lot of turmoil and hardship. This is the end of the transmission. So that's the end of the story. There's basically more to come with their allied species that will be focused in their own videos, including the characters I just talked about in the previous parts. So if you subscribe, enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys in these short videos. Bye-bye.